Hello and welcome to the Dad and Sons podcast.
Hello.
This week I have prompted our audience to give us a sad, wistful, but also whimsical reason why they can't maybe enjoy a pleasant evening of each other's company. I have put out a
this
tweet.
wasn't a thing of like you're just got off a date and him or her is like, oh, you want to come upstairs for a nightcap
for coffee. Yeah, right. Coffee.
Oh, okay. So I
because no one ever invites someone up for coffee at night unless there's something going on, and no one ever says no.
Wait,
unless
no.
they're George Costanza.
Well,
George, if you're inviting me in for coffee late at night, I'm not following.
So if you follow the three of us on Twitter, occasionally every other week or so, you'll see us ask the audience something like this. Dads and Sons, let your phone fill in the following autocomplete and we will sketch this out on the podcast. Quote, sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to go blank. I'm going to start at the top of the list with good friend Orange Vision, who says, sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to go play on TV game for maximum audience excitement.
Is it like his secret kinky word for video games with his
God.
significant other?
right.
I don't know. I feel like I'm playing Pepsi Man.
It's like you try to talk, like you try not to say like something nerdy. Instead, you make it sound exciting. You know, it's like I can't go upstairs with you.
TV entertainment.
Yeah, you try to bullshit your way out of it.
Have you guys played Pepsi Man on the PlayStation?
Yeah.
But I've watched enough damn YouTubers cover it.
Yeah.
So there's that FMV in the beginning where some just like fat white guy orders a Pepsi, looks at the camera and says, Pepsi for TV game. I don't remember if that's the exact quote. It's something like that, but I think Liam might have seen this. Like, TV game, what is that?
Yeah.
That's got to be some Japanese thing.
Oh, yeah. In Japan, they're not called video games. I don't know if this is going to blow people's minds. In Japan, they're not called video games. They're called TV games.
What? Oh, okay.
Go on, Matt. Have you got one?
Okay. Let me go to this one. Sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to get back to the vet, and then I'm going to get to see what the doctor says about you guys. That's from Josh Rushing. What?
That's a very, very fortunate autocorrect.
Who's
My
the
God,
doctor?
that sounds great, actually. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't hang out with you. The vet gave me a warning.
And I'm still waiting to hear back from the doctor about what he has to say about you guys.
Not even the human doctor. Like, that's
You're basically calling your date gonorrhea.
I've got a quite modern one here that probably will apply in most situations for people these days from Control-Alt-Die. Sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to go to the ending of the most influential channels on YouTube.
Guilty as charged. From player slot available, we have, sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to go upstairs. Oh my God.
It's simple but effective.
Yep. It's like an AI wrote it.
Right. Sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to go behind the sauna.
When you have better
How
plans
do you get
than the
behind
date.
one of those?
I don't know, but you better not get stuck. They get pretty hot. You definitely die.
It's grammatically correct, and that's good enough for the phone.
We have, I don't even know how to say this. Quay Nok Nguyen. Sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to go to the store and get some rest and feel better soon. That is why I'm asking you for a friend to talk to you about it when I get home. And let me know if you need anything else from me. Please let me know if you need anything else.
Wow.
He really wants us to let him know if we need anything else. Holy crap.
That's why he's getting a friend to ask us. And he's double checking.
But he can't come upstairs for coffee because it's very busy.
I just realized this is the first ever one you could really play along at home whilst we're doing it. Just listen and type into your phone whilst listening and see what random shite comes up thanks to your texting history.
From Duke Williams, we got, sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to go to the bar with my dad.
Aww.
Wow.
What are the chances?
Wow. You set up something with your dad after, like, an outing?
You would dismiss having sex with a potential partner to go to the bar with your dad?
Maybe it's
sure.
Father's Day. Maybe he has some important paperwork he needs to discuss.
I mean, like, no, it's not. I mean, obviously, if you don't like the person, you don't like the person, but they set it up beforehand. That's the issue. They set it up beforehand. And they're like, this date might not go well.
I have to go to the bar with my dad after our date, so could we wrap this up by 8:30, please?
Right. Not gonna talk a little bit more. Nothing. Maybe.
Yo, I'm on a really tight schedule. Can we just in and out?
In and out. Supported by Trump. Sorry, I can't go up the stairs with you for coffee. I have to go back to the psychic, and I saw a guy in a car accident.
Jesus Christ.
What is wrong with people's messaging history? Atomic says, sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to go to bed early, so I have weird restless sleep.
Not like to fix their weird restless sleep, just because they have weird restless sleep.
Just to have weird restless sleep. Like, imagine looking forward to that. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just super excited about my weird restless sleep.
Amanda J says, sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to go get back to the work and stuff, and I have to go get my stuff ready for work because I have to work. That sounds like someone actually stammering up trying to think of an excuse.
Or it's just too true and you do have to go to work.
And you just can't think straight about trying to grapple with the exhaustion.
Oh God, I know that feeling.
I have a straight to the point one by Ernest. Sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to go to bed.
That's what happens in the show. George is just like, oh, sorry, I can't go up for coffee. It keeps me up at night.
Yeah. I have to stop specifically drinking coffee at like 3 p.m. Otherwise, I'm out.
It's supposed to be an 8-hour effect. It takes 8 hours to for your body to fully process coffee and for you to strand it out, if you will.
Oh God!
I think I just found out a great new euphemism for urination.
Stranded out.
Stranded out.
Does your pee contain death?
Hopefully not. I mean, that shit can be a life-saving survival technique if you're Bear Grylls.
Well, it grows mushrooms, apparently.
Oh, wow. You can drink it, grow mushrooms with it? What can't you do with it?
Well, no wonder Kojima seems so obsessed. Anyway, DWO Boyle mentions that, sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to go to the store to buy some stuff for my future wife and kids.
Wow.
What a shade.
That's like a super confident guy. He's like, I know what's going to happen right now. We gonna make a baby. And I'm just going to go buy some stuff.
Wow.
Because I'm organized.
Sorry, lady. I don't want to go upstairs with you. I have a future wife and child to take care of.
Wow. I mean, he has to be referencing another woman or another, yeah.
Or he's
woman.
just so confident that this person he's with right now will end up being his future wife. And
I mean, that's a good way to think about it. Or a bad way.
Yeah, that's better than what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Well, that tells what you guys are like then. This is like some weird Freudian slip right here.
A Rorschach test.
It's funny you mentioned it. Like, I have supposedly...
many skeletons, it sounds like.
How many times do you have to say those words for your autocomplete to put that in there and think that you want it? Like here, TJ says, "Sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to go back to work tomorrow." And there's an emoji crying. There's emoji crying. But also Matt says the same thing. Matt says, "Sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to go back." Crying emoji. And then he comments under, the emoji was part of the autocomplete. So I think it's the same thing.
Wow, so that actually might have happened to them shortly before getting on Twitter.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Wishes for Fishes says, "Sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to go back to the hospital and see what happens if I ask for a GameCube." Is this lost?
I think puzzled. I think the answer he's looking for is puzzled.
Wow. Oh, that's good.
Lawnmower Repairman says, "Sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to go back to school for witchcraft."
Awesome! Hell yeah!
Ooh. I want to see that delivered and see the reaction from that.
I would just I would be more intrigued. What a sexy reason to not have sex.
Can't go
witchcraft,
upstairs.
baby.
I gotta
That
learn some
would just
witchcraft.
Yeah, that would just make me more attracted to them.
Really? Really? In real life?
Yeah, that's like saying, "Oh, sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have an appointment with the blowjob doctor."
No, I don't know if that's cool. I don't know.
It's like you're denying them something for witchcraft. You're for like a fun, magical hobby.
I like how you're
Practice
comparing going
job?
to Hogwarts to receiving oral sex.
Well, I mean, like,
Wow,
just
Liam.
practicing,
Clean it up, will you?
educating it. I think the better profession I was thinking
Oral
of was a coach.
We
Oh
gotta
my
draw a
God.
line somewhere in that.
Fellatio.
We've talked about eggs that you can put your thing in.
Tingas.
Oh, yeah,
Draws
we
the
got
line
George the
at
Tengus Ailment.
blowjob.
Fellatio always did sound like a great name for an Italian restaurant.
It does. It does. And they only serve spaghetti.
Oh no.
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
So,
And your weight is called Horatio.
Oh, God.
so,
Well, I guess we can end on this one from Oscar that says, "Sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to go to De Que Le Equipo Secuendo en La Puerta. Sorry, I'm Peruvian."
Oh, my God. All right. Before we cancel it, we got to do it ourselves. Because I didn't.
I feel
do it.
like this episode has made
boy.
us cancelled already. This is going to come up in like the highlight reels of like, George Weidman, YouTuber, cancelled.
you mean come up in the courtroom?
Horatio scandal.
He said a bad word on a podcast.
Sorry, I can't go for coffee. I'm with Horatio.
30-year-old man says bad word. We should spank him.
Okay.
Hold on, let me
Let's
put it
let's
in.
see what my phone says.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. Period. I have to go. I have to go to the island apocalypse. Period. When did I ever talk about an island apocalypse? Why did my phone come to that one?
The autocomplete is weird magic, my friend.
Is that the magic that they had to go to instead of their date's coffee machine? What do you got? What do you got?
So mine says, "Sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to go the night before the weekend and stuff for dinner tonight, and I'll do my best friend. I don't want to spend my time doing anything.
Oh my god, that's just confusing. I don't know if I should feel jilted or not.
It's like, it's weirdly coherent and makes sense.
But just kind of asks more questions than answers.
I might have to bleep mine out a bit.
Oh my god, we found the line.
You were just talking shit about how...
All right. Sorry, I can't go upstairs with you for coffee. I have to go back to school to get some food for my nigga.
My phone does not come up with that at all. Wait, you're telling me your phone does?
Well, I'm black. I say it.
Phones say it though? I didn't know phones were allowed to say it.
You can force it. They'll keep changing the word and then be like, no, I want to say it this way. Let me say it this way.
Like when your phone keeps telling you to like duck off.
Yes. Yeah, they keep changing it to duck, and I'm like, no, I'm an adult. I can say the F word if I want to.
Wow.
I'm going to go ahead and erase that before I accidentally tweet that.
Before you actually... Well, it's already in your phone's autocomplete. The damage has been kind of done.
I'm just gonna double check that when I type N-I-G.
Oh, no.
Yep. Night is the first word that comes up. Brilliant.
Mine does, too.
I type N-I-G-G, and it comes up with nuggets.
Yep.
God, I'm so white.
Mine's still trying to do high. Anyways.
George, you can tell George is definitely staring straight at the word. Like, I'm just not going to reveal this.
And I'm shaking my head and my eyes are like wide. What video games do we want to talk about?
You know,
man,
that's why we're here.
Video games.
I don't know if video games are like less controversial than racial slurs these days. Ugh.
Let's not parade that route. Video games are fun.
They can be.
Let's talk about fun.
I played a lot of Metal Wolf Chaos over the past few weeks, and yeah, that's fun. That's video games, and it's also it's like
so
harmless,
bad it's good.
6th gen, so bad it's good. The voice acting is incredible. Everyone sounds slow and clear and monotone. The controls are simple and graspable. The game's problem is some level design quirks with some bosses that can one-shot you after a very, very easy time. The difficulty curve is zigzagging all over the place. But man,
I mean, are you really
makes me feel good and
for that?
Makes me feel like an old man.
The President of the United States.
This is the kind of schlock that Platinum Games is kind of sort of parodying, right? The Japanese hyper-exaggerated humor, but with that weird line of things being played relatively straight so that it looks more bizarre to us foreigners. Like the mecha designs and the UI, there's things about Metal Wolf Chaos that do not look like a comedy game. But the game was always slated to be funny from concept going forwards.
I think it's meant to be absurdist. I don't think they're meant to be funny. Like, I really, honestly, from my understanding of Japanese games, they just try to make a cool game and don't. It's you know, it's like when anime has like a foreign character in it.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, my name is Steve Rogers. Oh, I am from America. And they're just like completely over the top, weird, voiced terribly by some sort of Japanese actor who can
and they're like
partially speak
hyper
English.
cocky and loud.
Yeah, and it's like that picture of like what a American or Western human being is to Japanese people. It's just that personified as a video game.
So, when they were making this game, they were commissioned by Microsoft to make an Xbox exclusive that they would hope would appeal to Japanese gamers in the struggling markets and make some extra money exporting it overseas.
So made this.
Yeah, there's a fun-ass story behind the game's original creation, and that is to, like, lampoon the concept of making a game for an American console in the first place. There's some documentation from the developers about how hyper exaggerated they wanted to make everything, and I think I see like the stereotypical wacky Japanese humor that you see on wacky game shows with silly. There's the situation, of course, is completely ridiculous. All of the dialogue is ridiculous. There's ridiculous visual language going on in the level design. Like, there are cages of hostages, and you free them by shooting them.
Wow.
But like, look at the robot he's in. And if you look at some of the bad guys, they look like they're from another game. And I'm going to assume that they were from Armored Core games of the time.
Maybe.
But, like things like the level design and the aesthetics all play it suspiciously straight. And so it's fascinating, absolutely positively fascinating to see how humor and irony and cultural priorities change between these two markets. Like, you know, if an American made a game about being a silly badass president, it would have Humvees. It would probably look like a cartoon, like it would have 2D art or cell shading or something to make it look less. I don't even want to say plausible, because it's not like less realistic than just straight 3D renders.
I mean, this quote from software producer Masanori Takuchi basically spells it out. It is America as perceived by the Japanese. It's completely fictional, but at the same time, it was our idea of the ideology of American culture and comic book heroes, and we pieced that together, and it became the president piloting the mech. We think that when Japanese look at it that way, from the American point of view, it's almost like how they imagine a Japanese ninja. And the sort of same ideologies. The same kind of fantasy. It goes two ways.
I seriously wonder about that, because when you usually see like a Western depiction of a samurai or a ninja, they're disciplined.
They're Tom Cruise.
They're cold. Oh my god. Good one.
They're Tom Cruise.
But man, I gotta say, like, the gags per minute in Metal Wolf Chaos is even higher than I was expecting. And I guess that's partially because I wasn't expecting it to be as explicit with being a humor game as it was. Every 2 minutes, these characters say something that is just absolutely goddamn hilarious. There's an exchange in the game, in the beginning of the Miami mission, where your handler, who is, I think her name is Debbie Forrester. She says, "The enemy is oppressing the citizens of Miami Beach and trafficking them overseas into international white slavery.
Wow.
Go liberate Miami, Mr. President."
Wow.
Oh my god.
Like, stuff that's just both way, way off base and clearly meant to, like, not be taken seriously at all, but also delivered with that kind of stilted anime, everything is really slow, really clear, voice acting, the Saturday morning cartoon voice acting that for some reason they get all the foreigners in Japan to do. I really wish that wasn't. But anyways, there's another exchange where the president is saying, "Diane, what's the situation across the United States of America?" "Mr. President, the resistance is building." "Yes, I can't wait." And that's it. That's it. There's a boss at the end who actually repeats the same recording, like out of 4 times they say this line, they use the same recording 3 times. You're battling back a boss who's barreling down a highway towards you in front of you, and there's a support character on the microphone who says something like, Hurry up, but don't be in a hurry. That's an ironclad battle tactic. Shoot the legs first, then focus on the weak points. That's an ironclad battle tactic.
It's so video game. It just is like, it screams. Like, it is almost the epitome of that 2004, 2005 era PS2 jank games that just came out by the bucket load. We had so many of those games. So many weird Japanese games coming over with just nonsense dialogue. It's brilliant.
And it has production values. Like, it's actually pretty all right to play. Like I said, it's not great because the level design.
I mean, it only took like 9
but
months for them to make it. So
it's among the pantheon of so bad it's good games. This is probably the easiest one that it is to just sit down and play through. And I mean, if you set yourself up with like Metal Wolf Chaos, Sonic 06, Deadly Premonition, and The Quiet Man, you're in for some fun garbage. And I love me fun garbage. And this was a hell of a fun trip.
I mean, I'm not surprised you liked it. The name was inspired by a certain other famous franchise out of Japan.
Yeah, they wanted to use three words with with a shitload of consonants that sounds cool in English.
Metal Wolf Chaos, Metal Gear Solid.
So yeah, I'm trying to have a video out on that.
Oh my god!
Either tomorrow or the next day. We'll
Really?
see how that goes. But
Okay.
yeah. And in the meantime, what have you guys been up to? It's been a couple weeks since I've been on, so I have a lot to talk about.
That's right.
Yes.
We kind of need to ask those questions again, Liam.
I think so. Yeah. I think we should save it. We should save it for a later date, so George doesn't have the fresh memory of listening to it in his head.
Okay.
We just
You guys want to do it next week?
we just drop it like it's hot on him.
Next week.
So
Next
so if
week,
you
next
didn't
week.
listen to last week's episode, check that out, and then you'll know what we're talking about.
So,
George
in the
was
meantime,
sicking all over the place.
video game. I was vomiting Walmart produce. I imagine that they don't have Walmart produce in the UK, and I sure as hell know they don't have it in Japan.
Hell no.
Don't get in depth with what you were vomiting.
You know,
I know you
Liam,
want to. You are
weren't-
weird.
Yeah, not true and true. I just also want to point out that when I was in Japan, I wasn't vomiting with you, but I actually did vomit on that trip when I was in Sapporo. Yeah, I don't know if it was the weather or if it was the noodles, but something about a noodle shop and
twice in Japan on 2 occasions with me. But
wait,
one
that
was,
is right. Yeah.
one was due to our own stupidity.
So basically what I'm trying to say is that I vomited during 100% of Japanese trips where I've seen Liam. There's a correlation there that is undeniable.
I'm secretly trying to kill you.
You're sending germs through the microphone.
Well, speaking of Japan, I'm slowly progressing with Fire Emblem. I'm like 30 hours in now, and there is no light at the end of this tunnel yet. But I got to the major part of the game where things happen that people will know about, and it's pretty cool. So I'm soldiering on with that. But I've been kind of holding off playing other games because Astral Chain comes out next Friday, the new Platinum game for the Switch. And it coincides nicely with going to PAX next week. So I'm like, aha! I'm going to download that for the flight and play it while I'm over in the States. So, while it was Obon holiday here in Japan last week, so we got some nice time off to celebrate the old dead relatives and whatnot. A friend of mine from up near Shizuoka in Tokyo came to stay with me for a few days, and we ended up playing a lot of Super Smash Brothers.
Ooh.
Like a lot. But mostly...
Did anyone get salty?
No, not really. Pretty evenly matched. But we were mostly playing with Hero.
I've heard that Hero can be OP as shit. Was there like some big controversy over banning him from some tournaments?
I did look a little bit into stuff like that, like, and I can sort of understand why. But besides like competitive play and just pure general fun, this guy is amazing. He's so fun and so weird. So for anybody who doesn't know, obviously Smash gets DLC now and again, and the most recent one, obviously with Banjo-Kazooie, was announced, but at the same time, the hero is like the amalgamation of all of the Dragon Quest series main protagonists, which are all tend to be named the hero, or they have sort of colloquial names depending on if you're from the Japan or the West. Sometimes they're named after the entry of the game. So we have like the latest one, he's called 11. You have 5 and all
I
those.
think Persona games do that too. The irony being that hero actually is a fairly common Japanese name.
No,
And
but
also
hero, yeah, but it's not spelt like hero Japanese, like
right.
hero. It's spelt hero as in just like the
Yeah.
hero of the game.
I've seen that pun be used before.
Yeah, so he's just called hero because his different skins or his different costumes are just different character models of the other heroes. So you have the hero from Free, which is Eldrick, 5, 8, and then 11, which is the latest one, which is coming to the Switch next month. So I always either play as Eldrick or 8 because Dragon Quest 8 is my favorite one, and stuff like that. But he's great. He's so much fun to play. Like, he is like rejuvenated. Not that I needed any already, but he has like rejuvenated my wish to play Smash a lot. He is so much fun. He plays incredibly different to everybody else. So while he is a sword character in general, don't let that fool you because of all the Fire Emblem characters. He uses magic. And so his like normal B attack is like a big fireball that he can charge, kind of similar to like Samus and Mewtwo and Lucario. And then he has like a side lightning similar to Robin. But all of this uses MP, like a traditional RPG. So when he does an attack, it uses like MP from his MP gauge, which he has at the bottom of the screen. So you have to like be careful of how much magic you use. Otherwise, you can't do his attack. So like his up B you can charge so he can recover back onto the stage. But if you don't have any magic left, he just won't do it. So he'll just plummet to his death, sadly, because it'll play like the little Dragon Quest when you have no magic or you miss an attack. So it's just like this sad, like, he's attempting to do the move and it's like, and he dies and you're like, oh fuck. But what is super unique about him and the coolest thing that people are just getting irate about because it is like random to the max is that if you press down B on a GameCube controller, basically is what I reference. If you press down special, he brings up an RPG menu, like a skill menu from like an old RPG from like Final Fantasy or something like that. And then he will have a list of commands he can do. So some of them are attack based, some of them are defense based, some of them are like speed up, some of them are heals, but they're all in a random order every time you do it. So you can't memorize which attacks will come out. And what's really strange is about it, in a game like Smash, which is super fast and like everything's going on, you have to press down special, and then you have to read what actual like commands you could do, and then you have to scroll through them, and like then you have to press it, and all the while you're doing this, he's just standing still, and you're completely vulnerable to everybody attacking you. So you have to be like either really quick and like register it, and you kind of get used to doing that, or you just press like we would do, which is like down special and then pressing A and just randomly doing an attack. It could like backfire, or it could turn out to be like the most genius thing you've done, and you fire out like a huge big bang and like kills everybody on the screen. It's just so random and so fucked up. It's brilliant. He plays so weird.
Do you know why they've been banning him at tournaments? Is it that randomness that they don't
Yeah,
like?
I would imagine so, because he has so he has some pretty good magic attacks. Now, the thing is, like, the better the attack, the more magic it uses. So he has 100 MP, but, like, if he uses, like, a really, like, Sizz, for example, he'll use about 20 MP, which is a fair chunk of his magic. And it does recover really slowly. The only way you can make it recover faster is to actually, like, melee attack people and land hits. So then you have to be aggressive. But, for example, he has 2 specific attacks that are probably quite broken. One is called Thwack, which if you land on somebody who is pretty much above 50%, like if you land it dead on, it's a critical hit and will kill them. Almost like 90% of the time. And the other one is Kamikaze, where he will literally just stand next to somebody and take you and themselves out. It's crazy.
That can be legit sometimes.
It can be legit. I mean, you can suicide with like 3 or 4 different characters, but yeah. So he has a lot of like one-hit KO type moves that I think people are angry about. Also, he has Snooze, which is basically like a projectile version of Jigglypuff. It's great. He's just so... But the thing is, like, all of this randomness and all of this, like, kind of like 50-50... Not 50-50, because that's not what the ratios are, but, like, the idea that you're just going to press down B and A and just randomly do a move, and you have no idea what it's going to be, and you have no idea if it's going to help you or not, is just so much fun. And, like, some of the crazy shit that happens when you're just playing, like, casually 2 people is so great. He's a really well thought out and really interesting design for a character that basically has to stop, smell the roses, decide what he's going to do, and then attack. Kind of like you would in an RPG, but it's happening in literally one of the fastest, most frantic games of all time. If this is the kind of designs they're doing, like for new characters, I'm super interested to see what they do with Banjo. Obviously, having Duck Hunt be a sort of foreshadowing of like that dual character type thing, and obviously the Ice Climbers. But man, they're doing some crazy stuff with Smash Brothers. Joker was great with the Persona, and now we have Hero, and he's awesome. It's really like I had some of the most fun games of Smash I've ever had playing with Hero.
That's cool. That's cool.
I highly recommend you, if you play Smash and you haven't got him yet, or you're worried because all of these people are complaining about his randomness in videos on YouTube and banning from tournaments, don't worry about it. Just pick him up and play him. He's great. I want to face you two with Hero.
Yeah, I wonder if, like, the only reason I'm not into this one so much is because I just don't have a regular group of friends coming over like I did back in the days of Smash 4. Because I haven't thought about Smash Ultimate for a while, but I have liked everything I've seen and heard about these DLC characters so far.
Yeah, it's one of those where, like, for me, I don't play that regularly, but once the DLC characters come out, it's always great to, like, hop back on and play and check it out and try them. And Hero has been... Like, I enjoyed it with Joker. Joker was fun and stuff, but with Hero... Man, yeah. Some of these games I'm having, just such random shite is happening all the time. It's awesome. I need a hero.
And he's gotta be strong, and he's gotta be fast, cool. And he's gotta have a really great
a magic MP blast.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know the
gloss over
next
that.
lyric of that song. Anyways, Matt, you got something?
No. I've been looking for a new game to help you guys out, and
okay, yeah. See, maybe that's what we can talk about.
We need a new game for Matt.
It's just everything sucks.
I play old games because I know that because when they're old, you can know if they're not gonna suck or not or whatever.
Yeah, it's like I kind of want to go back and play Xenogears because like the first game I made when I was in college was like based off like the beginning of Xenogears. I was like, oh, let me go back and play. I never got to
play Xenogears. That's weird and interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to hear you talk about Xenogears.
Yeah, it's just like I want to play a new game because I haven't played a freaking new game in a while, and there's just nothing nothing that I'm interested. I want to say nothing good. Nothing I'm interested in. I don't want to play any shooters. I'm kind of just bored of it. I mean, I played it like since Halo. Like I was like shooter.
Yeah,
and then
Okay.
I got burnt out.
Random observation. Have you guys been trying to follow the new Call of Duty?
No.
They're calling it Modern Warfare.
No. Is this the one that's a battle royale or not?
I don't know. They put in the battle royale mode in the last one.
You don't.
Okay. For some reason, my group of internet friends is really into the new Call of Duty, and I don't see it. I really don't see it.
Is it out already?
No, they're doing a public beta in a few weeks, and I might be able to swing a.
Oh, it's literally just called Modern Warfare.
Yeah, they're rebooting Modern Warfare back to just Modern Warfare 0. So I guess Modern Warfare 2019 is what you'd want to plug in, but I don't understand how like a casual normie fan can look at footage of this and see the gimmick. Like, it just looks like shooter. It looks like games we've played a jillion times before, and
maybe because we're old.
We're at an age where I think we're finally through with we're finally hit diminishing returns with just shooter.
Because it's the same thing. It's the same thing, like with like a little variation. It's the same damn thing.
It's a graphical upgrade. The animations look less rushy and speedy like they usually do in COD, but it's still like I have a hard time seeing what the gimmick here is.
Yeah.
Like, is it just competitively polished? In which case, I guess that's cool. But it's hard to like convey that in a video to a viewer real quick.
Yeah, I have no desire.
Anyways,
yeah, I'll play Gears any day because that's like a special thing. But like that's like the only FPS I would drop down and play. Maybe some Apex with some friends,
and we actually will have a very, very brief talk about Gears in the news in the beginning. But I've noticed, might have taken me a while.
When does Gears come out?
It's like a next month.
Yeah,
Matt,
it's getting to be fall.
Matt, I would actually be interested to know what you thought of a game that just came out of nowhere for me because I'd never heard of it, which doesn't happen that often. But have you heard of Remnant's Rise of Ashes? I think it's called.
Yeah, I was looking it up. I was like, this looks interesting. It came out like what, yesterday or something like that?
Yeah, like it came out definitely within the past like week or so.
Yeah, the past week.
But
it's co-op, and who has time when I have time to play? I don't want to play that game by myself, you know. Like, and I looked at it, and it's by Perfect World Entertainment. I remember playing their MMO back in the day. They, from the reviews, it seems like it's good.
From the reviews I got, it's basically Dark Souls with guns.
Yeah.
And it's like Dark Souls crossed with Diablo.
And that sounds cool. It's just
some of the boss fights looked pretty good.
Yeah, and that's what got me interested. And then I was like, oh, I kind of don't want to just like solo play this. Like, I don't know if it'll be worth I think it's $40, so it's not $60.
Yeah, there's so many, like, it's weird. Like, there are so many games coming out in this space of time right now that I've completely forgot about. There's, like, that. There is, like, Gears War 5 or Gears 5.
September 10th.
Yeah, it's just Gears now. It's just Gears.
Gears 5.
And that's what people call it.
Or
It's been calling it.
Astral Chain is coming out. And then, like, Control is coming out, like, next week as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm going to play that.
That looks really interesting. I watched the trailer today and I was like, actually, I've paid no attention to this, but this looks pretty good. And then in September, you've got stuff like Link's Awakening happening. So there is like quite a few things happening.
Control was the ray tracing demo. That's what Control was. I don't think people knew it was a game until they announced it.
I didn't know we had a solid release date for Link's Awakening, September 20th. Yay!
Oh, wow. So September is going to be a big month then. Because you got Gears, you got Link's Awakening. Because I'm definitely playing Link's Awakening. I'm dropping everything. I don't care what I'm playing. That's going down.
Yeah. That's the one of these I'm hyped for.
Yeah. But yeah, like, you just got to wait for the good, I guess the good stuff, you know? It's the good stuff. Gears looks good.
I have noticed over the few weeks, might have taken me a while, that Matt, you're always trying to look for something new to enjoy, because what is typically new does not tickle your pink. Liam is like always playing something new and typically enjoying it.
This year I've been pretty bad about that. Matt has taken the mantle.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
To be fair,
But like look at our segments here. Like, to be fair, you were playing Smash Ultimate, but you were also playing a new character for it, for a new content pack.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Yeah.
And I just like, I'm always a few years behind, and I'm confronting this fact. It's causing me a lot of shame. I am well aware that nobody gives a shit about this Rome 2 Total War game I'm playing right now. And I like it. I'm having fun.
You just have the problem with you, George, is there's new games and trying stuff, and then there's playing 3 games over 2 years.
And
Subnautica, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and now Rome Total War 2.
Yeah.
well, Subnautica, I would not play that while it was early access. It technically released last year. Or was it 2018? I don't know. Subnautica's been around forever, but it had its release fairly recently, within the past couple of years. And Assassin's Creed Odyssey is kind of meant to be played forever anyway. And Rome 2 Total War is sending me down this hole where I'm micromanaging and perfectly placing and optimizing everything, because it's doing a good turn-based strategy game thing where there's tons of variables to mull over whose results add up to drastically different turns. And I also genuinely believe that it's generally a good bet to wait a year or so after a game's launch before really getting into it. You have patches, you have price drops, you have better not just reviews and critical consensuses, but also like tips and game guides and strategies people have developed.
I wish that worked for
mods is what's
Mass Effect.
doing it in this case.
Mass Effect Andromeda. I wish, because that game is still trash. I mean, well, let me not say that. People have enjoyed it, and rightly so. Combat's good.
I wonder if it's possible to make a total conversion mod that fixes it, like with Rome 2 Total War.
I don't think anyone worked on it. I looked and I couldn't find anything. I wanted to play that game because I haven't, like, Mass Effect was like one of my biggest games when I was young. When that first came out, that first Mass Effect, I was like, this game was made for me. Whatever.
Have you guys ever played any of the Total Wars?
No.
I played what is it? Shogun 2. I tried the Warhammer 1 as well. I am terrible at those games.
The big gimmick they try to do is that they try to render every single soldier out of a like giant battle scene with hundreds of soldiers as their own individual AI. And in some of the later games, you can manually control your artillery units and point and click where they shoot a big fat flaming fireball at the enemy ranks. And it's like, it's bowling. It's bowling with soldiers. You're like lining up a shot, hoping that the RNG qualities behind the game's calculating where your shot's going to go is going to line up for you to just knock down like 7 soldiers who stumble into 14 other soldiers. Everyone comically falls over and starts rolling down a hill, and it's hilarious.
I still can't believe we're talking about this again.
Let's see. Gears 5 is going to be on Steam instead of the Microsoft Store. That's cool.
That was supposed to be news.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
did not
that's
look.
one of the big Gamescom announcents. Because Gamescom is important now. But before we get into future stuff, is there anything else we want to talk about? Because I also have a non-gaming thing for once.
Oh, okay, you go first then.
I just wanted to briefly mention we've not spoken too much about Netflix in chill recently.
I was just about to mention it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, and George had a non-gaming related thing as well. But I between smashing bouts, I watched basically the first season of Netflix's brand new original anime, Kengan Ashura.
Okay.
I don't know if either of you guys have seen this.
I have not heard of.
So, what is this weird, janky 3D/2D anime? I don't know why so many of these Netflix shows are using this 3D technology because it looks ugly as shit most of the time.
Yeah, I don't.
Cheap.
It looks really bad sometimes.
Oh no!
Like really bad.
Yeah.
It's like subpar Guilty Gear terribleness.
So it's like Berserk.
It's definitely better than Berserk though.
But,
yeah, it's the same.
Okay. Yeah.
It's the same type of tech.
Okay.
But this show is actually pretty dope. It has no substance whatsoever, basically no story, but it gets to a point like 6 episodes in where it's basically just a boxing MMA match every episode, and these incredibly weird, fucked up dudes are fighting these underground matches in this giant arena. Just there's one every episode for like 6 episodes, and it's amazing. It's brutal and super cool, and I actually enjoyed it way more than I thought it was gonna be, even with the bad 3D technology.
You like anime boys with a lot of meat on them.
I mean, these guys are like beyond. These are Baki level of weirdness.
Yeah, because you were just. Well, not just, but a while ago you were talking about Baki. And
Yeah.
Definitely some similar threads here.
I think it's the same director. I'm pretty sure it's the same director. But anyway, I think Kengan Ashura, also based on a manga, is exclusive to Netflix. But it ends like 12 episodes in, and then part 2 isn't until October. But I started watching it in the beginning, and I was like, this is awful. This technology is awful. There's nothing good about this at all. Ah! And then I just kept watching it, and I was like, yeah, punch him harder. Yeah, kick him in his teeth. Yeah.
Jeez.
It's basically just like a shonen anime, but without talking. It just has a lot of punching. And instead of like, it does this weird thing, like everybody who knows what I'm talking about right now, or who has any interest, kind of understands with shonen anime that you have them explain their moves, like their secret techniques and stuff like that. And whilst it does do that a bit in Kengan Ashura, one thing it does mostly is it explains the backstory of every fighter in the show. So instead of like having to like, oh my god, I wonder what he's gonna do next, I must use my secret technique to fight him. Instead of like, they get rid of all of that nonsense and instead have like cool moments with different artwork to explain the detailed origin backstories of even like fighters who are only on the screen for 10 minutes. And it gives a lot of character to each of the characters that appear in the fights. And then the rest of the episode is just them kicking the living shit out of each other to points of like inhumanity. It's great. Highly recommended.
Cool.
Well,
Punch him
speaking about
harder.
thick boys, Netflix, no chill, baby. If I knew I was editing this podcast, I would have prepared an audio adventure for you guys. I've been wanting to do that for the podcast for a while. Something I used to do on Visual Wood with wooden potatoes.
Aren't they lucky?
Yeah.
Aren't they lucky that you are?
All right, Demon Slayer. I finished that. That
Better than
has.
Goblin Slayer.
I want to watch this.
All right, so the progression of the anime, like for me, with these types of shows, the progression has to be a little bit faster, and it wasn't too slow. For what, 19 episodes? Oh shoot!
Yeah.
Why is there more? Why does it say 26 here? Anyway, 19 episodes. It was okay. It was okay. Some of the characters I would say is kind of annoying, but the animation of this show, the hype, is there, dude. Is there, Liam? Like especially the end.
Yeah, I saw the gif of like that one thing which happened in the most recent episode, and I was like, oh my god, that's pretty incredible animation right there.
You know, the one that just makes you stand up straight and you're like, oh, yes. You know, like that type of, you know, because there was a lot of build up towards it. It was nice. It was nice.
Yeah. People don't realize that, Matt, the only thing you and me ever talk about when we talk about anime is animation. We never talk about story.
Because, like, the story is, like, hit and miss sometimes. Like, it's good enough, and then there's, like, oh, this is really good. Like One Punch Man. I didn't know season 2 came out, and so I hurried and watched that, too. And the story for One Punch Man is, like, it's not great. Like, it's
shonen anime.
Yeah, like the guy, the One Punch is just there. He's just there.
He's just there.
Yeah, the story continues, and then he just pops in every once in a while with his dumb face, you know, and does something cool. Like, that's the anime. That's the anime. If you really look at it, is it cool? Yeah. It's definitely cool. There's a lot of fight scenes and stuff like that, and some of it, the progression of One Punch Man, that was devastating for season 2. Nothing happened. But I wanted to mention some Netflix stuff. I finished Stranger Things. Stranger Things, the strongest thing about Stranger Things.
The strongest thing about
Stranger Things is the actors were phenomenal. The guy who plays Billy was just great. It was just great. He looks like Zac Efron. I thought that's what he was. The ad placement, though. The ad placement was insane. Supposedly it was on purpose. I mean, obviously it was on purpose, but supposedly it was like supposed to be like with the story. I don't think so, man. The ads were like shoved in the middle of the frame. Like, they wanted you to see Burger King. You know, they wanted you to see Coke and Nike and all that. There was a point that they argued, second to last episode, when things were intense, about the taste of new and old Coke.
Oh no! What? The taste of what?
Old and the old and new Coke.
Oh yeah,
that's
the 80s.
The weirdest thing I've ever seen done. Like, I was like, wow. I mean, they in 3 days, they made 15 million off of that. All those ads and stuff like that. So, you know, good for them. Get your money.
Enough to just pay the girl who plays 11.
Yeah, it just, that's I don't know if that's like enough. Like, let's see, 40 million people watched this. 40 million people came for season 3.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people, dude. I don't know. And they're probably gonna make it a series. I feel it, you know. Because you like, oh, it ended in season 1. Some reason there was a season 2, and then for some reason there was a season 3, and I think for some reason there's gonna be a season 4. I don't like how it ended. It's fine. It's cool. I enjoyed my watch, and I think that's all you can ask for. But last thing is Mindhunters. This is the best thing on Netflix. Go watch that if you like. Just getting inside of the mind of a sick, twisted person. Before criminal profiling and knowing what killers get satisfied for and stuff like that. Back then when, you know, it was just cops and they just go and they're brutes and they didn't really think outside the box to catch somebody. This Mindhunters is set in that time where they change and adapt to serial killers. And it's a good show. Season 2 is low. It starts off a little weird. I'll let you know if it's good. But yeah. Something happens to the main character, and it kind of.
He dies.
No. It's just.
She dies.
It just sucks. Yeah, she dies. Yeah. So that's Netflix no chill. There it is.
I watched that Invader Zim movie.
How was that?
Put on there.
I started watching that today, and I couldn't finish it.
Ooh.
I was wondering about that because it was not actually as good as I was hoping for, but it was still a positive experience overall. I can't blame Liam for not finishing it.
Like,
though.
it wasn't bad. And it was definitely Invader Zim. It was just like, it's only an hour and 10 minutes long, and it is so slow to start anything. Like, really. Like, the best joke of the whole movie happens in the first 5 minutes.
Which
And I
one
was like,
was that one?
It was the, and I thought I could be friends with sharks. And then he, like, turns around and reveals his robot hand, and he's like, not anymore.
That
had me in
a
tears.
A few good one-liners towards the last third, and I got one for you.
Okay.
They're about to declare world peace is apparently a plot arc in this movie, and one of the characters who's part of the organization says, "Wow, I never thought we'd actually accomplish world peace, but all we had to do was charge people for it." There's some good clever in there, but it was kind of a reminder that Invader Zim is a cartoon for kids, and I'm not a kid anymore.
Yeah.
That's what the experience was really like for me, was for the good clever that is in there. A lot of the jokes are fairly childish, but which is to be expected, right? I can't hate it for that. I wonder though how weird it is that this seems like a cartoon for kids, but the show has been like not around for 15 years, and the kids who originally watched it are older now. But it's weird that it feels like this was made for kids today. Like, I wonder if the script was something that was still sitting around back there in the day, and they just kind of updated the technology in the show to make more sense for kids nowadays. It didn't seem like it was for adults who had grown up with Invader Zim. It just kind of reminded me of how cringy a lot of the emo goth look and random humor feels after the fact, rather than having it actually grow up, acknowledge that, and change its style as a result of that process of maturity.
I kind of like that, though. So many pieces of media that we grew up with that then come out always have like a gritty reimagining
adult
or
reboot.
a reboot that tries to focus on like what the audience will be now, and not just be like, well, this was made for kids then, we're gonna make it so it's still for kids, instead of referencing like, you know, the older generation who have been watching it from the beginning. I kind of like the fact that, you know, it was a kid show in the beginning, and now they're still aiming for kids of today.
It's brave. I can appreciate it. The grand irony, though, is that it just like it has me thinking these thoughts right now. So I don't exactly know if it worked on me, but I can't say it didn't work on me because I did watch it. I liked Invader Zim when I was a weird 15-year-old, and it brought back those feels again. I guess
It did make me think, though. I can't remember. I really liked Invader Zim, but I can't remember a single episode of that show.
Yeah, I was remembering bits instead of arcs, and
yeah, absolutely.
like fun bits with the teacher and the dad. Like the adult characters in this show for some reason have always appealed to me more than the kid and the alien, because apparently I forgot about those characters but remembered the adults.
Yeah, weird.
But the other aspect to it is that the animation is really good.
Especially in the beginning.
That's the coolest thing about it, I felt, was how cool it was seeing the Invader Zim TV animation style, but getting a Netflix movie budget. And yeah, the anime parodying in the beginning was hilarious. I saw a little clip of that on Twitter, and that's what had me deciding to watch the full thing anyway.
Nice. Maybe I'll finish it.
Well, I don't think anyone's obligated. You don't have to watch the Netflix movie. Netflix Invader Zim movie. It was a positive experience, but it wasn't. I mean, it was worth the time, but it wasn't worth going out of the way for, I guess, is the line there.
Nice.
So, we're going to talk about Gamescom this week. Gamescom is a big deal, which is also kind of weird to think about how E3 is being regarded with more apprehension than previous years, and Gamescom is having more and more excited headlines coming out each successive year. We'll see how that goes. In the meantime, I gotta run to the bathroom.
Yeah, me
you
too.
guys need to pee. Let's take care of that real quick.
Drain the weasel.
It's the problem in the marriage bed that no one likes to talk about. Maybe that's why they call it silent but deadly. Well, now there's a real solution to a very real problem. Introducing the Better Marriage Blanket. On the outside, the Better Marriage Blanket looks and feels just like a soft, warm comforter. But on the inside, it contains a layer of activated carbon fabric, the same type of fabric used by the military to protect against chemical weapons. Flatulence molecules easily pass through the cotton shell and are harmlessly absorbed into the layer of carbon fabric. Even when used on top of bed sheets, offending molecules are absorbed before anyone knows they're there. So whether you or your spouse suffers from a health issue or just the occasional disagreeable meal, you owe it to your marriage to try the Better Marriage Blanket. It makes a great wedding gift or anniversary gift too. To order, call 1-800-981-1134. Online at buybettermarriageblanket.com. Order now.
So yeah, we got a big list of headlines coming out from Gamescom. Jeff Keighley did a big stage show with Death Stranding footage coming out that's new, and I was hoping that they dive into the asymmetrical multiplayer aspect to it of like how building bases with friends is supposed to be working, whether or not that really is a 2-scale map of the United States you see in the HUD there. But no, instead everyone is rollicking over the fact that pissing is a gameplay mechanic.
So yes, so there was a lot of well, I guess it's to be expected. Gamescom is the biggest event next to Tokyo Game Show before this game gets released, so it is probably, it makes sense that so much was revealed, but it's weird because we all keep thinking Death Stranding is this huge, big, secret, mysterious thing that nobody will ever get to see. But of course, it'll be out in November, so trickling out like pee is the details.
Yeah, there's a I don't want to call it a meter. There's definitely a numerical HUD value representing how much pee is stored into your character.
That's so Kojima. It's freaking weird.
What do you do while you're peeing, though? It doesn't... Oh, a mushroom pops up. Yeah, I didn't notice that the first time I watched it. That's cool.
Yeah.
You could pick it up, too, it looks like.
Also, Kojima said, speaking of asynchronous multiplayer, George, Kojima did mention in an interview that if enough people pee together, something will happen.
A bigger mushroom.
Maybe. Magic mushrooms. So there's a lot to unpack, both like superficially, like the peeing, and also like gameplay wise, because there's a lot of stuff coming out. If you probably won't have seen this, but if anybody is actually interested, Josh West from Games Radar wrote a really good article that came out about 2 hours ago about what you actually do in Death Stranding.
Oh, okay.
So basically, going off quotes from his article,
I don't know if I want to know. Maybe I think I might peace out.
Yeah, you were mentioning this earlier, and I typically do blackout, but since this is a game that's like kind of
okay. Do you want me to keep it? Do you want me to keep it brief?
Yeah. Maybe we can text Matt when we're through.
Yeah. Text me.
Yeah, I'll text you on Discord.
All right, cool.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep it brief anyway. But Matt's gone. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So basically, it is Postman the game.
Good. That seemed decipherable.
As we can see with the fucking weird ass Jeff Keighley virtual side quest mission, you have to deliver stuff to people, but the game consists of you walking from the east coast of America to the west coast. Mm-hmm. And you have to basically Breath of the Wild unlock communication towers while you're doing it. And the idea is that you are literally just walking. You are walking across America. And then all of the intersecting parts, the story and the combat and stuff just happens whilst you're walking.
Well, there's occasional clips of vehicles, like in he has a
Yeah, so
motorcycle during one of
obviously
the
it
shots.
looks like when you see him with other characters, like if you watch the Del Toro one with the baby, Del Toro is like a 3D projection because he can phase through like the area. So I'm guessing Sam is never actually with people apart from on rare occasions throughout the story when he meets up with people. For the most part, he's just going to these communication points where he'll speak to like 3D projections of the characters and do his stuff. But for the most part, it seems like he's on his own, just walking across America.
I'm expecting there to be the asymmetrical multiplayer to make it interesting, like building bases of supply lines.
Yes, so that's the thing, is I think how it ties into it, you saying we don't know what the asymmetrical thing is, I think generally because people are walking the same road, people will be leaving like bases and supplies along the path for people to gather while they're also walking, which is super interesting. And I kind of weirdly am fascinated by it. But it does seem like a rather simple game. Getting rid of all of the bullshit around it. Like reading books and peeing and stuff.
There's got to be something more interesting than that. Like in the last set of trailers they put out, like they showed corridor shooting through the World War One trenches.
Yeah, so I imagine there are sections when you go into the BT world or whatever it is, like the other side, and stuff happens. Like in the forest, when you're walking through the forest, then all of a sudden all the BTs come and you get
and you're
dragged in
also
and stuff.
a different character in that trailer.
Yeah, so I don't know. That could be like a red herring, but it does seem from these gameplay previews and this very well written article that you're just walking. You are, for the most part, just walking, and then stuff happens to you. There are big cities, like one's called Central Knot City and East Edge Knot City or something, and this is where you mostly meet up with people.
Is this article called "I have seen Death Stranding at Gamescom and I finally understand what's going on"?
Yes. Think of Sam as an engineer that has been assigned by the US government to slowly cross the country to repair damaged phone lines. Man.
Yeah, I guess I'm happy to hear that it is an open world game about walking across the United States like I was predicting, but I was also predicting that the gimmick would be multiplayer features setting up supply lines for vehicles to make the trip go a little faster. Maybe that's not how the asymmetrical multiplayers are going to be used.
Maybe.
But it still sounds like you're still helping other players finish a story and by setting up networks of bases.
So I everybody should go, if you're interested, you should read the article, but I just want to read like the last part, which is like, we don't really know how navigation and traversal are going to work outside of understanding that there is a ladder that materializes out of thin air and can bridge impossible spaces. We have no real grasp on what the combat mechanics will be like. Kojima maintains that this isn't a stealth game, but we haven't seen anything to the contrary. We don't know how online elements will work, aside from players being able to asynchronously urinate in the same spot to spawn gross mushrooms. We also don't know much about the other side or the demonic entities crashing through into this reality. And we definitely don't know why Kojima seems so intent on building narrative threads around decaying babies in utero. But we do know that there will be a lot of walking, and a lot of activating points of interest, and a lot of fetch quests. And a simple narrative thoroughline that is easy to grasp. So, yeah. Seems like we're getting closer and closer and to finding out stuff.
So, yeah, my big prediction from a few the months ago was asymmetrical multiplayer game about building a network that could get people across the country, then across the world, then to the moon. And at least we're seeing the country there. And the asymmetrical walking across it. Until then, though, I totally gonna understand why Matt's blacking himself out. Let's get him back in here.
Let's get him back in
and
yeah.
All right, I just sent him the text message. I assume he'll be there soon. Until then, let's see. He's definitely gonna want to talk about Switch games.
We should talk about just briefly the facial scanning.
Facial scanning.
for Death Stranding and how Kojima is going to have every person who's ever visited his office.
Yeah, how Jeff
be
Keighley
in the
has a
game.
cameo in there. He's the quest giver in that whole trailer.
Jeff Keighley is in the game. Edgar Wright is probably going to be in the game. Bring Me the Horizon and Churches are going to be in the game. Del Toro. Traverches, yeah.
Oh no. I wonder how well they get along with Kojima behind the scenes. But yeah, Gamescom is a big deal apparently now.
It kind of always has
like
been.
You said, makes sense.
Secretly, it always has been. Like the Dota International is happening right now, and it has become massive. But the first ever Dota International was at Gamescom in 2011. Some weirdly big things spawn out of Gamescom, which makes sense because it is huge and freaking hard to walk around.
Is it just me though, or does it feel like the past 2 years of Gamescom have kind of stepped things up?
Wait, you went last year, right?
I went in 2017.
What was the big thing then?
Trying to think back and remember. I remember playing Skyrim VR. I remember playing Star Wars Battlefront 2. I don't remember being very impressed by the demos I was playing in the announcements. Maybe this is all just like bias because now that I've been there, I'm constantly thinking about it more. Maybe it's not actually as big a deal as I think.
I think you're just getting worked up about nothing.
They had a new Rainbow Six Siege map. I dug the demos that The Witcher and the Cthulhu were putting out.
The Witcher 2 on Xbox 360, that was the big Gamescom 2011 thing I saw.
Oh, okay. So yeah, maybe that trend is not as conclusive as I might have thought it was. But this year at Gamescom, What the Golf has a release date. I don't know if I have talked... Wait, no, I did talk to you guys about What the Golf when I was at GDC earlier this year, because it was one of my favorite games at GDC this year.
It's
a comedy golf game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I highly recommend Googling up What the Golf and having a quick giggle at what is surely going to be a fun, giggly, good old game coming out in early 2016 on the Switch.
That's good. There's a lot of stuff being announced for Gamescom.
There was a Stadia keynote where they announced that they are getting versions of Cyberpunk 2077, Elder Scrolls Online, and Orcs Must Die 3.
They're getting like a lot. They're getting a lot of stuff. They're basically just getting everything that's being released so they can at least compete, and then I guess the Stadia exclusives will come later.
I just want to see if it works.
Oh, I know what the big... Hey, there he is.
I just want to see if it works.
Company.
Huh?
Three's Company.
The big Gamescom shocking blockbuster AAA announcement this year, besides Death Stranding stuff, is the Kerbal Space Program 2 is the thing.
Wait, what are you talking about? It's Halo Reach DLC in Gears 5. That's the big news.
Wait, no, the big Gears news
Halo
though
Reach
is that
is
it's
secretly the
releasing
best Halo game.
I've heard legit people trying to make that argument.
Dude, I will fight that argument every day.
That Halo Reach is the best Halo game?
Yeah.
Have they lost their mind?
Are you saying I've lost my mind, Matthew?
You think Halo Reach is the best Halo game?
I do.
Wait, are you wait, you're young? You're like 24 or something,
you're
right?
Differentiating between multiplayer
29,
and single
dude.
player.
You didn't play Halo 3? You didn't play
Of
The
course.
Forge? You didn't do any
Of
of that? You
course.
didn't get beat on Legendary? You didn't get the skulls? You didn't have that that moment where everyone was looking for the recon helmet.
Are you questioning my gamer credits?
Halo Reach, where they introduced stupid shield blocking melee garbage. Like, that's...
It had
Jetpacks.
the best.
There's no
multiplayer.
skill. Like, this is like, I don't know, it's like people started making kid stuff. Like, all the young developers started coming up and fucking up games. It's like, what happened to skill? Am I old? I'm old.
It was great. I think maybe you're old.
Well, I mean, Matt, you got like Gears 5 to look forward to.
I do.
That'll be
I do.
really
And
awesome,
Rod
right?
Ferguson, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
It's on Steam. The store page is already there.
Yeah, it's weird though. It's weird to see it.
given
Like,
up
you
on the
have to log
Microsoft
into
store.
your Xbox account.
Oh, they're still doing that on the PC versions?
Yeah. Even on Steam. So you still have to log in. So is it gonna just do like the double login through your computer, or is it gonna be an Xbox login built into the Steam version when you load Gears? I don't want to do all that. I just want to be clean. Just want to be clean, guys. Just a nice login. It's weird. It's weird to see Gears 5 and not have to pay a premium just to play online. It's weird.
They've also specified that it can run on Windows 7.
See, Gears 4 can't even run on Windows 10. It's a problem. This is the only reason why I don't play it consistently. I get my fix and I leave because like about an hour in, it just crashes in the middle of a game. And it's a common thing. They know about this. A lot of people have this issue. And that's why you don't see a lot of PC players playing it when you're when you're playing against all these Xbox guys.
There were some cool Switch announcements. Hotline Miami and Super Hot
That's not on there
and
yet?
Risk of Rain 2 are coming to the Switch. And what I got a little unreasonably excited about was Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yeah,
Definitive Edition.
interesting.
Yeah.
Xbox
How
exclusives coming to the
how-
Switch.
trash would I be? I gotta play these so I can finally talk to Matt about games again. I gotta play Ori and the Blind Forest and Hollow Knight on the Switch years later like a piece of trash.
I
I
replayed it.
also need to play Ori and the Blind Forest.
Like 3 months ago, I replayed Ori. Or 2 months ago.
Maybe we can have a big Ori in the Blind Forest cuddle puddle after me and Liam finish the Switch version, and we'll finally know what you're talking about.
It was like
And then
$1
then
to
it'll
get
be just in
the.
time.
It was like $1 to get that pass thing for your computer, and you could have not for your computer, for Microsoft, and you'll be able to play Ori and Guacamelee 2 and all these other games. I mean, now it's.
But I can't take it with me on the bus, Matt.
Oh my God, what's wrong with you people? What's wrong? Hotline Miami. I thought that was already on the Switch. That's like built for Switch. It's like
all
hot,
bloody and gory.
It's like super hot in VR. It was just like it was meant for that. But yeah, Ori is good. From that list, Ori is challenging, but you won't be frustrated like Hotline Miami, even though Hotline Miami.
I read somewhere that Hotline Miami 2 got denied classification in Australia, which means they can't manufacture and distribute it domestically. Gamers gotta import it. But this Hotline Miami pack for the Switch has gotten a rating and will be shipped out just fine. And they didn't edit or take anything out of the Switch version, so I guess that means rating standards in Australia are loosening up too.
Isn't it great that Nintendo just didn't do the whole family friendly thing anymore? Just kind of let games be games. God.
They still have their family friendly branding, but they definitely have the like we were just saying, the standard M-rated roster of the current gen has a lot of their installments on the console.
Yeah, but they never let these types of games on the console. I think Bayonetta was one of the first, right? And Bayonetta is one heck of a first.
You had some stuff like Red Steel for the Wii, which was pretty bloody, violent and stuff.
But I don't think they've ever gone as dark as Hotline Miami. Bayonetta is a Saturday morning cartoon compared to Hotline Miami.
True. I guess
know.
Nintendo were like, "Oh, we make loads of money."
I don't know. You're playing a girl that's half naked all the time.
No, not really. That's just flavor text.
Oh, okay.
Oh, her hair's her clothes. They're still clothes.
Oh, okay. Okay. A Christian mom walks in, and they're, "What are you playing, Jimmy? What are you playing?" Yeah. Oh, no, that wouldn't
I mean, a
work,
Christian mom seeing you stomp on turtles might also have a problem.
dude. I had a parent. Well, one of my parents come in and say Final Fantasy X
I hope so.
was this porn, playing Final Fantasy X. Okay, so.
I mean, I remember being 13 and seeing some cutscenes from 10-2 that definitely did something to me.
Oh god, yeah, I remember my mum walking in watching the opening of 10-2.
My dad walked in on a few embarrassing cutscenes from Metal Gear Solid 2, and I'm still scarred.
Yeah. Is this porn?
No, Dad, it's
Oh
a
my
video
god.
game.
You guys remember Perfect Dark on the N64, right?
Yeah.
The cartridge had a close-up of Joanna Dark's like heavily maked up seductive eye, right?
Yeah.
My mom found that cartridge and she thought that game was about prostitutes.
Yeah. See, it's that easy.
Because it had a picture of a woman's eye with makeup on it on the cartridge.
Wearing makeup is the devil.
And, yeah, only prostitutes wear makeup on their eyes, and
Let me tell you,
and
I just went to the gym. Nope. There's a lot. There's a lot. And then they wear makeup. Everyone wears makeup here in California. Everyone, dude.
to the gym
Yes.
when they're sweating.
Yes. It's crazy here. It's crazy here. People look their best everywhere in California. Well, at least I would say near LA.
That's like Kyoto.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyoto, everybody looks their best all the time.
Not the girls who are actually working out. The girls who are actually working out, they like putting on weights and they're like, oh, that like no, those they're not wearing makeup. But the other ones where they come in and they're like, you know, they have the 5. I'm making fun of you guys. I'm sorry. The 5 pound, and they're like, and they're barely doing anything.
Oh man, I'm so tired and exhausted from bending over for 40-second stretches. I really would love to go home and relax with someone.
You know,
Is it that kind of thing?
Yeah. When you're born
with you for coffee, I have to work out.
Yeah. I have to go find another date at the gym.
Yo. Sometimes it works better than Tinder for them, you know?
I mean, you're in a place where the blood is flowing, the adrenaline is pumping.
Yeah, you are.
And there's people who are confident enough to be there in the first place.
And just to be fair, guys do this too. They don't wear makeup. They have their shirt cut a certain way. So you see all the muscles, and maybe if they bend over, you see a little bit of the abs, you know? And they'll look at the girl, and you can see it happening.
That'll be me at the end of the summer. At the end of the summer, you guys just wait.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And well, the thing with the guys, they still do heavy weights because they want to impress the girl. Because naturally, girls are impressed by that type of thing. Well, those types of girls. So, yeah. Yeah, I just put on music, both of my ears, and I just zone out and do my weights.
I either play Nintendo Switch games or watch the Invader Zim Netflix movie on my tablet.
While you're working.
I go very early in the morning.
Yeah. You have like one of those neck braces that hold a Nintendo Switch right in front of you, and you like bench. You're benching while you're watching Zid, you know?
And it's just like flopping up and down and about to fall apart. No, the treadmill has a little lip on it. I've talked about it before. You can put a device on the treadmill and it makes time go by like that. It's really really cool discovery. I'm very happy that I played through War Groove while burning about 1,000 calories.
God damn, 1,000 calories.
How?
Well, I mean, cumulatively over the course of like a couple weeks.
Oh, okay. I was about to say that's
Like
really
the
hard.
1,000 calories you lost over a couple of weeks?
I'm trying to measure my game time in calories is the thing. I expect that I've burnt 1,000 calories minimum while playing Wargroove, but this is over the course of multiple sessions.
Ah, okay, so you burn like 50
I
calories
need
by
to
taking your sweet ass time to play a video game in the gym.
I need to see that spreadsheet for sure.
So I've
At
probably...
least you're honest.
I think I've played like... I don't know, out of a 40-hour run-through, if the percentage of that was like... spent slightly less than half for 1,000 calories. Yeah, I've probably, like, I don't know, burnt 20 calories sitting down playing Wargroove and 1,000 calories working out playing Wargroove.
How did we get here?
I don't know. We should move on to listener
derail the
emails.
podcast. That's my specialty.
It's your magic skill.
This is why I'm here.
Derailment.
If you'd like to suggest us to keep our focus better or not, or if you'd like to suggest us to derail further off the train, send in an email to dadandsonspodcast@gmail.com, and we will read it on the show. Our first question from this week comes from Reggie Fils-Aimé himself.
Wow.
Once again. I don't know if you guys remember, but a while back, Reggie Fils-Aimé gave us an important mission to make a top 10 multiple platform all-in-one console for the future.
Oh, yeah.
All video games are being banned except for those top 10 consoles we were putting together last time. And this time we got a
I
fall.
wonder how Reggie's retirement's going.
It's weird. It's
He has time for the podcast.
He's been listening
that's
to
why.
us.
Yeah,
Posting
he's been
questions.
sitting in fan mails. Anyways, I don't even know if I can be sarcastic anymore. I was about to shout out at the ceiling, this actually real email from Reggie Fils-Aimé. But now I'm worried that if I said that, if someone might actually believe it.
But
you
it
don't
is
know
Reggie.
these days.
But
You
it
don't
is
know.
Reggie.
Guys, what do you think's going to happen on September 20th on Area 51 Day?
I
Because
think
no one knows what's a joke and what's not anymore.
yeah,
Reggie will
Ninja
send
runs.
us an email.
Ninja runs.
Naruto runs.
Yeah.
All right. Reggie Fils-Aimé here, your last bastion of video game history in the form of a console preloaded with 10 of gaming's most influential and iconic games was an overwhelming success. Word around the office is that... Why is my Reggie Fils-Aimé impression of, bad snake? Word around the office is that the higher-ups were impressed, and they now want you to tackle 2D platformers. As one of the earliest genres to emerge with a rich and detailed history, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, and now Google thought they'd ask you to go through this long history and pick 10 games that best represent all the genre has to offer for a 2D platformer classic console that might serve as a relic for future generations. These companies are still fully expected to recall all of their hardware and destroy all of the gaming history on them, but if these classic console time capsules continue to prove a success, you may make them reconsider yet.
All
This
of the
is
Mario
Reggie
games
Fils-Aimé
plus
signing
Celeste.
off.
Cool, done.
But what? Oh wait, you said Mario, didn't you?
All of the Mario games plus Celeste, and we're done.
Does the Metroidvanias count as 2D platformers?
No.
Why not?
Why would they? They have platforms. Yes. I wouldn't consider them as platformers.
But the line differentiating platformers is if you spend a lot of time jumping on platforms.
So is Hollow
suspended in
Knight
the
a
air.
platformer?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't like semantics. But I would totally want to include something other than Mario and Celeste.
For sure.
Cool. Let's add one Kirby game.
No, they're
They have to be
does
old,
Shovel
right?
Knight count? Does a
I said
Mega Man
classic, I guess.
Sonic count? Right, okay.
Because
Oh, God, you
Ori
don't
and
put Sonic in
Hollow
that.
Knight
Ugh.
and Guacamelee, they gotta be on there.
DuckTales,
What?
Dust Force.
Dust Force.
These are the games that come up when you think of best 2D platformers.
Best
So
2D
weird.
platformers. I have got a notepad file open. All right, we've got 10 choices here. Liam, we're totally going to do Mario.
Yes.
I
Well,
guess
we have
this
to
should
do
not
Mario
be controversial.
1, 3, World, USA.
Mario
Mario
what's the USA.
USA.
refer to? Yeah, what's that?
Well, Mario 2 Lost Levels, I guess.
Oh, you mean Mario 2?
USA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
stupid.
Yeah,
edition.
that's fun. That's a fun game.
Oh, you could just have the All-Star Collection, and then we just have all of them.
Right.
But the one that has
Can
Super
we-
Mario World in it.
Yes.
Can we condense
Gotta
Mario
have Super
All-Stars
Mario
into one entry here?
I guess so.
All right, Mario
I mean,
All-Stars
if
will be
we're
number
thinking
one.
final games rules, then yeah, we can trick
I mean-
stupid host.
I wasn't sure. I'll throw Celeste in there. It's
could,
for the future
like-
generations.
But yeah, if it's classic, if we're taking one current 2D platformer that has the genesis of the old games with the touch of new, it's got to be Celeste.
Why not Shovel Knight?
Because
Let's
Shovel
have a
Knight's great,
discussion.
but Shovel Knight's great, but it is not as mechanically great as Celeste. Definitely not.
Wait. So Matt.
That doesn't mean it's not as good a game, because I definitely think it is. I think mechanically it's not.
We have 7 slots here, and Matt, are you with me here on Shovel Knight?
Yeah.
All right. Well, 2 out of 3 majority. Shovel Knight's getting thrown in the time capsule.
Yeah. What are you talking about? 2 out of 3. It's 3 out of 3. I want Shovel Knight in there.
Now, Sonic Mania. How do we feel about Sonic Mania?
Oh man, I don't know how to feel
Do we
about it.
have
You know,
to?
like a game that you forget
don't
about
have to.
as soon as you play it. Like I don't know if that should be in the top 10.
How do we feel about Super Meat Boy then?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
Super Meat Boy.
That's definitely a platformer.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
right.
Why are we
That
picking
should
all
be
these
in.
hard games? Kirby, put Kirby
Because
on
the
there,
good
man.
genre
I
has
love Kirby.
become-
Ooh. Mega Man X.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for Mega Man
Yeah,
X.
Mega Man
Mega
has to
Man
be on
X.
there.
Or Mega Man 2. Either one.
What
It's
about?
Anyone play Mega Man
if it
Battle
comes down
Network?
to it,
No.
well,
That's an
that's not a
RPG.
platform.
I know, but has anyone played it? Like I feel like no one talks
Oh.
about it. It's so
Oh
good.
yeah.
It's so good.
I feel you.
It's
I replayed it on the Wii U Virtual Console. It was like one of the best things I'd played on the Virtual Console.
Oh man.
I really
play
enjoyed
that.
that game.
I should really
Quick
play
shot, gun to your head. What's the best Kirby game?
that.
I
I played it recently. Let me look at my ROMs.
the robot one, Roboto, on 3DS.
Roboto.
But that doesn't belong in this top 10.
Well, I'm thinking something like Kirby's Adventure for the NES or Kirby Superstar, which
I think
would be
it's
like my 2
Superstar.
contenders.
Is the one I
I
have.
don't know if it belongs in the top 10 platformers of all time. No.
Man, but you can't have Kirby not be there.
No, yeah,
You
Kirby
can.
has to be there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Just which
I mean,
Kirby are we
I'm
gonna
staring at him right now. His
Why
giant
would Kir-
plush is
Why
staring
would he
at me.
not? It's the classic Kirby platformers are damn good fun.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if there's better games.
Oh, I'm sure there are, but
I would
top
argue
10
that
Kirby
Rayman
games.
Legends could be,
I
or
could see Rayman
Origins.
Legends in there too. Yeah.
Put
They're pretty
the
damn good.
put the list in Google.
I have a list for us going in Discord.
Oh,
But
I
wait.
we have to be
sorry,
quick,
I'm-
you know, because
Yeah, I'm losing my train of thought here. What was the other franchise besides Kirby? Because apparently Kirby's controversial choice for top 10 platformers ever.
You can put Kirby in there?
Well, but Kirby's Adventure, Kirby Superstar, Kirby Roboto. What's a Kirby game we can all agree on? That's a pretty good Kirby game.
Well, you can't go wrong with the Super Nintendo.
yeah.
I mean, Dreamland on the Game Boy is pretty good.
Kirby Superstar
Superstar.
on the Super Nintendo. Wait, yeah, Dreamland. That's the original, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay,
No, I like
anyways,
the one where you can bring in a friend. That's probably the best one for me.
Star Allies. Anyways. Yeah, Rayman Origins or Rayman Legends?
Origins was the one that revitalized Rayman.
Wait,
so I'd probably go with that one.
Is that old enough?
I don't know. Celeste is in there and Shovel Knight.
Wait, for Origins is definitely not. Cause I remember playing the hell out of that game. If you're just doing
Origins
2D, then
Origins is 9 years old at this point. Holy cow!
Woof.
Or 8
Time.
years,
ahead
sorry.
of its
Takes us
time.
all.
Holy crap!
It was a good game.
Good game. That's a good game. Good game.
Not a big fan of Rayman as a character, but that game.
Yeah, who cared? Who cared about Rayman? I remember playing Rayman for the PS1 and got stuck at this part. Never went back to it. It went right back to Blockbuster.
Does Castlevania count?
Yeah.
Like an early Castlevania, not Igavania, which I guess there's more of an argument to be made there.
I would easily say that Super Castlevania 4 then. If we're cheating and we're playing like Metroidvania type
Hollow
or
Knight.
Castlevania.
But Super Castlevania 4 was before Igavania, so that's before the terminology of the whole Metroidvania stuff. I'm down with Super Castlevania 4.
Well, then we have to put Super Metroid in there as well then.
I might be down for that.
Hollow Knight.
And then there's whispers of Hollow Knight I'm hearing. Also, are we really not gonna are we gonna forget about DuckTales? Man, DuckTales?
I never played, so I can't.
DuckTales?
I don't know.
It's not good.
DuckTales is a very, very polished NES game. That's where the whole idea for Shovel Knight bouncing with the downward thrust comes from.
I know, but we've already got Shovel Knight in there, and it does it better.
Reggie, why do you do this to us? We can never agree on anything. But I don't know. It really doesn't sound like that bad of an idea to just throw
I think we've agreed on quite
Hollow
a few
Knight and
things.
Super Metroid in there.
Are we done?
All right.
Yeah, we done.
Is the list
So-
complete?
Yeah. We got Mario All-Stars, Celeste, Shovel Knight, Super Meat Boy, Mega Man X, Kirby Superstar, Rayman Origins, Super Castlevania, Hollow Knight, and Super Metroid. A lot of old, a lot of new, stuff that blurs the lines, stuff that fits...
Castlevania is Super Castlevania 4, right? Not Castlevania. Oh, good.
Wait, is Super Castlevania real different from Super Castlevania 4?
No, Super Castlevania is Super Castlevania 4. I just thought
Okay,
you said Castlevania, and I was like, not the first one.
No.
Right?
That's what I meant. Anyways.
Which is a fine game, but, it's not Super Castlevania 4, which is a remake.
So this is what we're sending into the future. This list here. Mario All-Stars, Celeste, Shovel
I mean,
Knight,
that's a
Super
joint
Metroid,
list.
Hollow Knight, Super Metroid.
Celeste wouldn't be on.
Celeste is fucking great.
Not to say it's not great. It's just that sometimes I don't want to do all that heavy platforming, man. And it's crazy because Hollow Knight's hard, but it's not that. It's not that.
I don't even think Celeste is that hard, but okay. I can see where you're coming from.
I mean, that's the whole point of the game. The whole point is that it's challenging to get up the mountain. That's part of the story.
Matthew. Yeah, it's true.
Hollow Knight. That's not it. That's platforming is not the main thing.
No.
And I think Super Metroid is the only one on this list that when I think of platformer, because there's solid ground in a lot of Super Metroid. It has its segments where you jump from platform
That's what I
to
mean.
platform
Like
above,
Super Castlevania 4 and Super Metroid are like,
Yeah. Some of these are
I mean,
for sure.
they're 2D action games, but they're in there because they're great.
But we
so.
spent way too long on this question.
Yeah.
Wait, let's move on to Carl.
Never
Carl.
email us again, Reggie.
Carl asks, hello again. Do you think Microsoft have missed their opportunity with VR or that they'll benefit from turning up to the party late? I recall the Xbox One X being touted as VR capable, but nothing since from Microsoft. Whereas Sony and now Nintendo are covering the console market and Quest as being a good standalone. Just wondering what your thoughts are on Microsoft's VR strategy and how important it is that they have one for the next gen.
Microsoft are doing something completely different, right? Aren't they just doing AR tech instead?
They also have a partnership with Oculus.
Oh,
That,
yeah.
I think they
them
would have
bundling
failed if they came
controllers.
out with their own stuff, and they would have wasted money.
Yeah, wait, isn't like every... What is it called? Python? What? Anaconda? What is it
Python,
called?
the
Scorpio.
programming language?
Scorpio.
Scorpio.
Yeah.
Scarlet. That's it. Scarlet. Like, isn't Scarlet gonna have like complete Oculus Rift compatibility?
That would be a better option than creating your own.
I'm expecting that is their plan, is
Yeah.
to just package it with some kind of a version of an Oculus product.
Yeah, get somebody else to make and pay for your tech. Don't do it yourselves.
Yeah.
Because Microsoft also has the WMR headsets too that are partnering with third brands like Acer and Samsung. They have not developed, as far as we know, I think they haven't really focused on developing their own in-house VR solutions, but they have the connections to have a third party make the peripheral, and I think that's what they're going to end up doing, and I think they're ultimately going to be okay from that, from waiting, because the VR market is so iffy as it is right now, and those other companies can take the fall if it comes to that. Although when thinking about that, I have to confront that Sony probably did not lose money on PlayStation VR.
No, I think it's...
Yeah, the R&D probably cost quite a bit of money because they were probably starting from scratch in some way. But yeah, I think it's reaped the benefits and it's put... I mean, the PS4 sold 100+ million consoles now?
And
It's crazy.
the PSVR has 4.2 million of that, which
To be fair,
is
though, 100 million to
pretty
4
alright.
is only 4% install base, though. It's pretty low.
Yeah.
For a high-end chunk of the
Yeah.
market, I think that's fine. I mean, when I think about how many people owned the Super Scope for the Super Nintendo, it was probably around 4 or 5% of...
Two different pieces of the cheddar, though, there, George.
I know, but we're still talking about high-end peripherals with
I
a
think
percentage
yeah.
of...
For me, if Microsoft did a smart thing and not do it, because I don't know the stats, but I'm pretty sure Microsoft did not have as much consoles out as PS4. I think most likely people would buy the PS4 one than Microsoft's one. So
Yeah, the Xbone has struggled.
struggled.
Sell
Yeah, it would not be smart to throw all your eggs in another basket.
into a risky
Yeah.
basket like VR.
Yeah. So
And considering how much competition there is as well in the VR market anyway, it would have just come out, it would have competed directly with the PSVR. Both of them would have taken half a share of
Yeah.
that, so you'd get
Why?
maybe 2 million units.
why do that?
If you're lucky,
Yeah.
probably mostly 1 million. Yeah, I don't think it would have been smart.
Brandon R asks, if there is an Uwe Boll of the video game industry, who would it be? Do you guys know who Uwe Boll is?
No.
Yes, it's David Cage.
Matt, do you know?
No, I don't. I'm gonna look it up.
Uwe Boll is a German filmmaker who has made several video game-based movies, and I believe he does them with weird tax law loopholes and government grants that allow him to get away with making shitty movies that make no money, and he's still somehow able to make this big career out of it. He did a movie based on House of the Dead, Alone in the Dark, Blood Rain, Postal, Far Cry. There's a movie he made called Rampage, but it's not based on the video game. And it's a lot of exploitive trash. I wonder, if...
Oh my god, he did a Dungeon Siege movie that had Jason Statham, Ron Perlman, John Rhys-Davies in it, and Ray Liotta. How have I not seen this movie?
Yeah.
I feel like I have more respect for David Cage than I do Uwe Boll.
For sure. Yeah.
At least David Cage has turned a profit. But the problem of trying to outline the Uwe Boll of the video game industry too is that they might come after us.
Really?
I mean, the audience can be quite toxic and acerbic,
Wait, what do you
very
mean?
oftentimes. But
we have great people. I have no idea what's that.
Are you guys familiar with the character named Derek Smart?
No.
Nope.
Derek Smart released a game in the late 90s called Battle Cruiser 3000 AAD, and it was very heavily hyped and ended up flopping with very negative reviews, and he was very, very, very vocal and rude and mean on the internet about defending it. And nowadays, for some reason, he has this weird vendetta against Star Citizen and trolls around a lot of Star Citizen forums, trying to like get people to believe that he deserves some kind of credit for coming up with the idea. Like he's
What?
he's a controversial character who does not have a very high reputation.
To be honest, Star Citizen is a very basic idea. This is like something everyone wants, everyone dreams about, is being a person in space. Like, it's not anything. The idea is not anything special. How to deliver it is something special.
Since July 2015, Smart has been embroiled in heated controversy surrounding the Star Citizen crowd-funded game, which he claimed could never be developed due to scope and promises. With widespread media coverage surrounding the project, he has since gone on to write various blogs about the project. And I believe there was probably a couple episodes of drama, but I do remember reading at least one big blog post from Chris Roberts talking about how many problems were being pinned on Derek Smart trolling the forums of Star Citizen. Anyways, David Cage, on the other hand, seems like he's at least got good intent. Like, David Cage doesn't strike me as a troll, even though he totally is. It's like an accident for David Cage. It's not on purpose.
It's hard to be like Uwe Ball. Like, it depends what you're talking about. You're talking about controversial. Well, there's a lot of controversial video game creators, I guess, in some ways. But in terms of like profitability, not really, because if you make a game in the video game industry and then you don't make any money, you pretty much don't make another game. So it's yeah.
The stakes and the budget and the time commitment for making a video game are all so much bigger than a movie that game developers have traditionally been more careful about their PR relationships and not turning themselves into personalities until fairly recently, since the advent of social media.
Kojima started it.
Thanks, Dad. Kojima's the father of all the terrible bullshit we're going through now, isn't it?
Well,
anyways,
we'll find out when we can all pee together in November.
All right. Well, Liam, you got to get to bed, don't you?
I got to get to bed to go to work.
Let's help him out with that and wrap this up. If you guys would like to send any questions, send them away to dadandsonspodcast@gmail.com. If you follow us on social media, you'll get to participate in weird Twitter games. And until then...
And a quick reminder, I will be at PAX next week. PAX West.
Go say hi to Liam at PAX.
Oh, yeah.
Not at the airport, though.
Please, not at the airport. Or if you do, just don't be as weird as George's airport story. It's making a nice airport story.
Is that possible? I don't know if it's possible.
I say
to have
bring
a nice
food.
Airport story. Yes, that would make.
Buy me a beer and it'll be fine.
But what if they end up bringing you like a fully catered platter table and it's